already on the side. Okay. Dove?
Sì.
So I need to...
Sì. Huh?
Wonderful.
You have to get used to it because it's slow, but it's okay. Yeah.
This thing. No. Well, they're not speaking to me right now. Okay. Do I need to speak? Test. Good afternoon. My name is Elisabetta Falcetti. Good? It's not too loud? No. Okay.
Laura.
Sì.
Yeah. And I will pass it to the colleagues afterwards. Yeah.
Yeah. I keep losing this one.
Jā. Bet viņš tagad, piemēram, viņš iestrēga tā kā, nu.
Okay. Can you try to speak to me so that I see? Hello? Yes, I hear you very well. Thank you.
Hello.
Trauksmēns laiks. Tomēr Latvija turpina augt un darīt. Japānai mācām, kā apsaimniekot mežus, nodrošinām internetu Everestā un ļaujam celties kosmosā. Nesam Latvijas dabu visai pasaulē un spējam būt par krāsu jebkuram audeklam. Ar Latvijas koku saturam augstākos torņus un kuģus, sargājam savu zemi pat neesot frontes līnijā. Darām Latvijai.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Latvia Investor Outlook session. My name is Elisabetta Falcetti. I'm the Director for Central Europe and the Baltic states at the European Bank for Reconstruction and Development, and it is my pleasure today to be moderating this session. This is a great opportunity to showcase Latvia not only as an investment destination, but also as a hub for digitalization and green innovation. We are honored today to have the pleasure and be joined by the Minister of Finance of the Republic of Latvia, Mr. Janis Reirs, who will give some introductory remarks to kick off the session. Minister, please.
Thank you, Elisabetta. Dear friends, it is my pleasure to welcome you today to the EBRD investment outlook session dedicated to Latvia. It is a special event, as the last time we discussed investment opportunities in a similar setting was 11 years ago. But today we live in a whole different world. We experience new opportunities and are faced with yet another set of challenges. We have also become more innovative, resilient, and globally interconnected. During this panel, you will hear how the Latvian companies are linked to this global world. But I will not take more of the precious time. I'm confident you will like what you hear today. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Minister. Before I turn to introducing the distinguished panelists, let me have a couple of housekeeping notes. First, let me remind the audience that the event will be simultaneously translated in French. And also, there will be a Q&A session at the end. So if you are in the audience, please raise your hand if you want to ask questions. Otherwise, you also have the option to take your mobile phone and log in to slido.com, put in the code number 917000, and go to this event, which is the Latvia Outlook session, and type in your question. I will pick up some of the questions at the end of the session. So without further ado, let me introduce our distinguished panelists. So starting from my left, we have Ms. Laura Ocagova, who is the Deputy Director for Investments at the Latvian Investment Agency. Next to her is Mr. Ian Brown, who is the EBRD head of the Baltic states operations. Then we have Mr. Vitalis Skrivelis, who is the chairman of the board of the Latvian Association of Chemical and Pharmaceutical Enterprises. Next to him is Ksenia Voronina, the business development manager of the Latvian startup Fixar. And then last but not least, of course, is Ingas Zargorskis, who is the CEO and founder of printpack.com, a global flexible packaging marketplace. So as you can see, we have quite a very interesting and varied mix of interventions. We have a lot to go through, so I will be I would ask my panelists to be sharp on time, and I will be brutal if you overrun on time, because we really want to hear also from the audience. So without further ado, I'll pass the floor to Laura, who will explain to us how Latvia is on a mission to become a regional hub for sustainability, digitalization, and innovation. Laura, please.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Laura Ocagova, and I'm representing a governmental agency, Investment and Development Agency of Latvia. And today I will explain why Latvia is the right place to invest in and how our talent cutting-edge technologies, and our ecosystem approach enables innovation potential and fosters new businesses to develop here in Latvia. Next slide, please. And next slide. Okay, so let's not keep us waiting. Latvia is located in the northern part of Europe, and according to Index Ventures, we are the most startup-friendly country in the world in 2021. Latvia is proactively taking on a challenge to become a regional leader, tackling climate and economic challenges by developing an environment for global scale innovation and investment. Just now we have launched our one specific mission, Mission C, with a global scale ambition to raise the awareness of water pollution problems, to attract the necessary investment and innovations, to help our Baltic Sea to be alive again due to a large number of the dead zone in there. We are a natural playground for executive ideas, and right now under the development is a sandbox for our playground that will reduce the regulations and also help our startups to test innovative ideas. And this sandbox is actually a law that will create Latvia a great launchpad for innovation testing sites, different test beds. I will show later how many already are there. Our capital city, Riga, is a great example of enter easy and scale fast, how city can help our entrepreneurs to develop their businesses here in Latvia. So why to choose Latvia? Only a few countries among the world have 0% corporate income tax, and Latvia is one of them. In comparison, among Europe and OECD countries, on average, the tax rate is 20%. So the difference is quite huge. I already mentioned the talent. Our labor force is multilingual, well-educated, and with Northern European work and culture ethics. And there are also many investment incentives to bring FDI to Latvia, among which I can mention the latest, which is a fast-track approach to investment in our smart specialization areas. There are 5. And also a startup visa, which is a temporary residence permit for non-EU startup founders that want to kick off their ideas here in Latvia. And for company kickoff, it takes only 1 to 3 days. So I can't imagine what else can be faster than that. Latvia has always been the birthplace of new ideas. We have a rich history in technology and innovation. For example, the world-famous smallest spy camera Minox was invented in Riga in 1937. From semiconductors and pharmaceutical to automotive industries, Latvia is technological heart, pumping innovation in our European neighbors, and the numbers speaks themselves, and we are the #1 in the Baltics in innovations according to Bloomberg. I assume that I have also contributed to these statistics, and regarding the gender balance in comparison to other countries, we do have comparatively good balance here in Latvia, and we have many incentives also to help women to develop new businesses like Riga Tech Girls and others. So the ecosystem also within women in development, new businesses is growing very fast and dynamically. We do have superior connectivity thanks to our national airline, Air Baltic, with more than 100 direct flights. And with our international project, Rail Baltica, the world will be even closer to us than now, and more connections will be opened in the several years. There are several special economic zones in Latvia where a company can get up to 55% tax credit of total investment and up to 100% rebate on real estate tax. These zones are specifically in the port areas and also in Latgale region. If we speak about ecosystems and smart specialization areas, biomedicine is one of the first to be mentioned. We are undeniable leaders among the Baltic states in biomedicine. And either we speak about our scientists that develop the artificial spider silk to build artificial muscles, or about the China's Genome Research Center that is opened here in Riga. All these activities are thanks to our dynamic and strong ecosystem in biomedicine here in Latvia. Latvia is one of the greenest countries in the world, and timber is one of our cornerstones in exports. We develop solutions from innovative constructions like cross-timber systems to low energy consumption water treatment system in Amazon region. So we do take the bioeconomy sector very widely, and also there are startups that is developing by using blockchain technology tokens that a person can buy a small percentage of forest and be owner of CO2 it produces. So very widely exploited the sector. Smart energy, I think, is the #1 celebrity right now all around the world. And up until now, the hydroelectric power is being widely used in Latvia and also sold abroad. But we have great potential also in, for example, offshore wind energy. Up to 15 gigawatts, according to researchers, are available there. So it's very wide opportunities for many companies to come and develop their solutions there. Our project, Estonian Latvian joint offshore wind park, is under the development, and we expect that it will be operational in 2030, by thus securing our energy sector independence. We have several Teslas when we speak about smart materials and photonics. Either it's our company Reirs with its unique approach to prototyping, or our company Light Guide, which is the leading optical fiber producer in the world with its branches in USA, China, and Europe. Or the Grow Glass company that with its cutting-edge anti-reflective glass that you can see in either Bang Olufsen TVs or that's covered on Mona Lisa painting in Louvre. So the technologies are really great there. The ICT sector, I think, speaks for itself. The growth the previous year was on 15%, and we have many companies and great investment success stories also. The latest is Swisscom, or from USA, the Tech Mahindra, which has decided to open their businesses and already opened here in Latvia. And one of our also ICT sector companies is TET, that's developing analytics online tool for TV advertising, and do have many other activities regarding ICT sector and developing new innovative ideas. Our smart city also have a strong ecosystem, and thanks to cooperation among the individuals, companies, municipalities, the VEF Innovation District is there, where it's like an innovation hub already here in Riga, where many tech specialists are being gathered. I also mentioned test beds. One of the test beds is there in this VEF Innovation District, but we have 7 in total. Either it's smart city solutions or others. And under the development is also test bed in Riga Seaport. So I will stop there.
Excellent.
Thank you.
You've been within time, even saved some time. So after this excellent presentation, I think, and showcases how Latvia is really at the center of the green and digital innovation, I'm not surprised that for EBRD, this is a country and region where we reached a record level of investments last year. So Ian, why don't you tell us a bit more about EBRD activities, not only on the investment side, but also on the policy. And I'm pleased to see in the audience some of our colleagues who have been leading on some of these policy initiatives.
Sorry about that. So let me start by saying something about EBRD in Latvia. And the first thing I'm going to say is, what hasn't been said, is not only is Latvia a dynamic and open and innovative economy, but it's also a very beautiful place. On this slide here, you can see on the left the Riga Cathedral, historic Riga Cathedral. On the right, you can see something which covers more than 40% of the land area of Latvia, which is forests. So let me tell you a bit about what EBRD's portfolio looks like across all the countries where EBRD operates. And across all the countries we operate, and I have to put my glasses on to read my own notes because I can't see that over there. About half, in fact not about, half of our total portfolio is in sustainable infrastructure. 27% is industry and commerce and agribusiness, and 23% is in the financial institutions. That's lending, bank equity, small business finance, and insurance and financial services. In Latvia, it's quite a different picture. So in Latvia, 47% of what we do is direct finance of industry, commerce, and agribusiness. 44% is transactions with investments in financial institutions. And only at the moment, only 10% of what we're doing is in sustainable infrastructure. And I'll talk about how we see that changing over the next coming period. So in Latvia, we adopted a new country strategy for the country last year. And you won't be terribly surprised to hear that we have 2 main strategies, the first of which is to support Latvia's green economy transition. What does that mean? Well, it means improving energy and resource efficiency. It means reducing greenhouse gas emissions and improving renewable energy. We also have the objective to foster Latvia's knowledge economy, and that you'll be hearing more about from our partners here today, which means improving access to finance for digitalization and innovation, and deepening and diversifying debt and equity capital markets. And capital market development has been really a key theme for EBRD in our activities in Latvia and in Lithuania and Estonia in the last several years. Excuse me. Let me give you a few examples. So what does this mean in practice? Well, here's a good example of our investment in green agriculture. Scandagra was this year one of the gold medal winners in our sustainability awards, and they won the sustainability award gold medal because what they've committed to do is significantly expand the acreage in all 3 Baltic countries under organic farming. An investment in capital market development was the first large-scale bond issue by a corporate in the Baltics. This is a retail chain. It's the largest retail chain in the Baltic countries, Maxima Group. And we invested 40 million in this 300 million bond issue. And the reason we did that is because EBRD's participation as an anchor investor in this issue helped to ensure the success of the whole issue. We invest in sustainable real estate. This is an example of an equity investment in a real estate private equity fund that is focused exclusively on low energy and sustainable buildings. That's office buildings, retail, and logistics. And equity funds is an important way in which, in Latvia, we help to provide alternative financing sources for companies at all stages of growth, pre-seed to growth up to the listing stage. As I mentioned, green energy is a very important priority for us, and capital market development. And here was a transaction where we actually killed 2 birds with 1 stone, as we say, by supporting Latvenergo's green bond program, the proceeds of which are being used to finance green investments in the power sector in Latvia. And again, our participation provided a signal to the market, and a valuable signal, that closed the funding gap. And in a recent issue, it helped a successful placement of the issue in the current uncertain debt capital markets situation. So, from that, let's hear about some of the corporates directly. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Ian. And indeed, Vitalis, you are the chair of the Latvian Association of Chemical and Pharmaceutical Enterprises, but also you are the founder and CEO of PharmIdea in Latvia. And we heard from Laura that this sector is really one of the leading sectors in terms of innovation and digitalization. So tell us about this sector a bit more in detail. Thank you.
Yeah. Hello. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of Chemical and Pharmaceutical Industry Association, I would like to tell about our plans, our industry plans to grow and innovation focus. In our association, there are more than 50 enterprises as members, but in pharma sector by size and by innovation appetite, the leading companies are 4. 2 are big players, local manufacturers and exporters, Grindex and Olandfarm, and from medium and small enterprise size, PharmIdea, and what is interesting, one of our leading research institutes, Institute of Organic Synthesis, with great budget and capabilities to attract commercial orders from all around the globe. We are pragmatic people, and if we look into our futures and we're saying, hey guys, let's remember what happened in the last 2 years in COVID. Actually, Europe, very much relying on globalization, being dependent on active pharmaceutical ingredient manufacturers in China and India, and it's not a secret, but that up to 80% of drugs in Europe, which is used, are manufactured from substances from India and China. And our enterprises said, okay, pandemic could repeat. We once again will be forced to stop our factories because Indians and Chinese cannot deliver us either by transport or by the blocking of their factories by virus infection. And therefore, we have a plan in forthcoming years to invest up to 100 million euro for expanding our capacities in manufacturing of active ingredients here in Europe to be safe, to be stable for life-saving drugs for European citizens. And this is an opportunity for financing and investment. If I'm looking for small and medium enterprise sector, then this is a main force for pharmaceutical innovation in our countries. And I could mention at least 3 directions which are very advanced. We are adaptive. We are working on repurposing of existing drug molecules for cure of life-threatening illnesses. We are bringing in, by adaptive innovation, precision medicine technologies with very pragmatic target, how to expand working life, active working life of European citizens, because once again, it's also not a secret. Europe become older. And also in connection with both previous, we are expanding and we are creating our competences in developing and manufacturing of pharmaceuticals for clinical trials. For such medium and small enterprise projects that investment and financing needs is between 2 to 5 million euro. Couple of words about our leading companies, Grindex. It's why it's a great potential to grow, because it's almost 80-year experience in pharmaceuticals, already sells in 103 countries worldwide, and active in main long health-threatening therapeutic areas like cardiovasculars, diabetes, central nervous system, oncology. And what is most important, this company is vertically integrated company where they do the chemical synthesis and do the final dosage forms like tablets, capsules, ampoules, vials, ointments, and so on. The same approach in their business is for oil and farm, and they are maybe a little bit younger, with only 50 years experience in pharmaceutical sector, but also vertically integrated company by synthesis and final dosage form, and sells already in 60 countries worldwide. If about small and medium enterprises, then about this adaptive innovation called repurposing of existing drug molecules for new therapeutic areas, we are focused on 3: stroke, heart failure, and neurodegenerative diseases. All of them are still a lot of things which we call unmet medical needs, and leading companies in Latvia in this field is Institute of Organic Synthesis and PharmIdea. Precision medicine, what that means? Very broad area, but in Latvia we are most advanced in following categories of precision medicine. Protein type vaccines based on virus-like particle technologies, represented by biomedical research and study center. Cancer therapies by using oncolytic virus approach with well-established product and company Rigvir, and radiopharmaceuticals, which we try to apply. We work very hard to apply theranostic approach. That means diagnostic and therapy in one basket, plus research of biomarkers to recognize for this theranostic approach cancer cells very effectively. And finally, once again, investigational medical products with particular focus where we would like to develop our competencies, taking in mind breakthrough technologies of messenger RNA vaccines and virus vector vaccines. It's this competence working for clinical trials, particularly with biological molecules. For today, that's all. I am open to your question in Q&A session, and thank you for attention.
Thank you, Vitalis. And now we're going to do a complete shift. So we go from pharmaceuticals and biomedicine to a completely innovative business. So Xenia, you joined Fixa, which is a startup company in Latvia, a year ago as a business development manager. So we would be interested to hear from you not only about what the business of this company is, but also how you help the company internationalize and going global with sales. So please.
Thank you so much for introduction. So hello everyone, my name is Xenia, and I'm really pleased to be there and to represent a Latvian-based startup. So today I will tell you how Fixar changed the mobility industry, bringing best-in-class economic efficiency. But first of all, let me give you a quick overview of a global drone market. So the commercial drone market is growing significantly now, from $22 billion at 2020 up to 300 billion up to 2030. And daily, thousands of professionals at drone market meet the challenges with the existing non-professional solutions to complete their missions. So current commercial solutions have several limitations. They are not scalable. So the quadrocopters, they're easy to use, but unfortunately they cover the short distances, and the planes, they're really difficult to operate and require some additional equipment. So we started thinking, could there be the solution which combines the best attributes at the existing market? So that's why we have come up with our solution, Fixar 007. So by the way, it's not a secret agent. 007 is just the maximum takeoff weight of 7 kilograms. So Fixar 007 takes off as a quadrocopter, but flies as a plane. So it's fully autonomous solution and really easy to operate. So it's a geomagnetic field resistance. That means that it can operate anywhere in mountains, for example. So it's zero carbon emissions. So it's fully electric with zero carbon emissions, and it has a flight distance of up to 60 kilometers on one battery charge and can carry up to 2 kilograms. So overall, we have spent 2 years to complete the R&D from scratch and to come up with the full stack technologies for autonomous solutions. And we have developed all the solutions by ourselves and for ourselves. So starting from aerodynamics to autopilot and SLAM technologies. So what makes us unique is our value proposition. We give the best-in-class unit economics. So with Fixar solution, industrial missions can be covered easier, faster, and at lower cost per flight hour. So the beauty of Fixar technology is scalability. Starting with our first unit in 2080, we have scaled the distance from 40 kilometers to 300 kilometers, and the payload capability from 1.2 kilograms to 10 kilograms. So here is a snapshot of some examples how our customers benefit from Fixar drones, and we are working in more than 20 industrial use cases now. We are contributing to reduce carbon footprint. Our drones are 5 times more energy efficient than conventional transportation. We do humanitarian and healthcare mission and search and rescue mission faster. And we're really proud of our culture mix of our team. So how we are growing now? So we started our sales in summer 2020. And so far we have sold over 60 units and have collected LOIs for $8 million. So we focus only on market professionals, and our main markets are Africa, Canada, US, and Japan and Australia, and we want to expand further. So we promote international projects, and we want to bring them to Latvia as well. So, for example, we are participating in EIT Urban Mobility Project and are going to have a demo flight between hospitals next year in 4 European cities. And now we are fundraising $6 million, and you are really welcome to invest. So you can ask me why today is a good time to invest in commercial drone technology. So based on Gartner hype cycle, we can see that the drones have passed through the different stages from early technologies, super hype, overpriced valuation, and weak demand from clients. And now the players who have a working technology are coming forward. So join Fixar to change the rules of mobility market. That's what Fixar. Thank you. That's all.
Thank you, Xenia. While you were presenting, I must say, I was thinking that in our own experience also, we started introducing drones for our project monitoring, because especially during the COVID time, in which we were not able to visit in person some of the project sites, we adopted this type of technologies in order to monitor the project development. So this is just one of the possible uses that you have highlighted in your presentation, and it's amazing to see a startup like this one, and we hope that we will be able to support your growth going forward. Now, Ingers, I think innovation is part of your DNA. You are the founder of this global flexible packaging marketplace, which is printonpack.com. So tell us about your company and your success.
Nice to meet you here. My name is Ingers Zagorskis, and I am founder and CEO of printonpack.com, marketplace that makes ordering packaging easy. To tell you a bit more easier way what we are doing, I will tell you the story. So this is John. He's the nice guy from Amsterdam. He's roasting coffee, and this is his passion. He likes to do it a lot, and he's doing it actually very good. This is what his client says. Thing is that John is really passionate about roasting coffee, but not really that much about all the other administrative stuff they have to do to sell the coffee in his coffee shop. And one of the things are packaging for his coffee beans. So when John comes to ordering packages for his coffee, he comes to this. You have to figure out what type of package he have to choose, what type of material he should take for his packages. Is there any sustainable options for his packages? What kind of design should I choose for my packaging? Like, where can I get it? Will there be possible transportation to my shop of these packages? Is there any customs? So a lot of things, administrative stuff for one John to figure out and to be knowledgeable about. And guess what? There's also a struggle in packaging producer side. They have to figure out how to find customers like John. They have to figure out if we want to enter new market, where to find a new sales team who is speaking the local language. They need to rent CRM systems to organize the whole sales team. They need to find out where they can get insights about the market. Where should we move with our manufacturing? What is actual in the market right now? So many things to take care from supplier side, from packaging manufacturer side. So this is where printonpack.com comes in. We are the marketplace which brings together product producers like John with packaging producers. All the process is happening automated in the marketplace. From the minute when John is entering the marketplace and telling his wish, I want the packages for my coffee, till the minute when printed packages, as John wants, arrives at his doorstep in his shop. What we have done so far, we are still first and still the only one marketplace in a flexible packaging globally, which is trying to solve this complex and actually conservative industry. So far, we have helped businesses we have helped build businesses all over the Europe in a value of $10 million with the packages ordered through the printonpack.com. 92% of our sales are cross-border, which shows that we are not limited geographically. We already have clients from more than 10 EU countries, which again shows that we can go and scale globally. And all of that only in a little bit less than 2 years. Most probably you will ask, like, what is the potential for such a marketplace and industry? So have you been in a grocery shop? Every product needs a package. So I guess this is the answer. Like, the industry size right now is already more than $360 billion, and it's growing every year. And there's a big part of the market which have struggled to find the right packaging for their products. We already have, in this short period, got some recognition from outside which are evaluating what we are doing. We are, for example, we are recognized as one of top 50 impact makers in Europe from Google Cloud and from Deloitte. We also have trust from investors and also from Latvian Investment and Development Agency, which are helping us in our mission to change and bring to more digital direction the whole packaging industry globally. Thank you very much. If you have any ideas, I'm always open for you.
Well, thank you very much to all of our panelists. I think we've done an excellent job because we are perfectly on time. So it's enough for us. And I would like now to open the floor to questions. So if you are in the audience, please raise your hand. And otherwise, we can start from what has been posted online. There are quite a number of questions. Let me start with this one. What would be your advice for a new business starting in Latvia? Maybe Ingers or Kasper.
Latvia is like really good environment for starting the business, and there is institutions like I already mentioned, Latvian Investment and Development Agency, which helps a lot to many startups to in a very beginning stages and actually like in a continuing in a company's development. We are in the European Union, so it's very wide range of markets where we can enter and do the business pan Europe, which is again amazing opportunity for businesses from Latvia. So I see a lot of advantages to be in a market, and we are actually like very friendly for startups and innovative companies, and this ecosystem is very friendly and helpful each to other. So it's, well, I wouldn't say it's easy, because for the startup it's never easy, but it's very good place to start the business in Latvia. So yeah.
Let me maybe follow up. So what about the availability of capital?
Once again, sorry?
What about the availability of capital to fund the business? Is there a good...
I think like if you talk about the capital, there's like enough of capital available in a market, and it's always about your ability to go after it and about your ability to develop the idea. So if you are brave enough to move and to develop your idea and bring it in a market, then actually there's enough capital available in Europe and especially in Latvia.
Thank you. Does anyone else want to add to this?
About availability of financing, I'm from pharma. Pharma is super regulated business. Drugs has to be safe. No, we are looking for long money, 7 to 15 years. And it's sometimes challenging in this last 3 years to attract it, but it's doable in Latvia as well.
That's why EBRD is still additional in the country. Very good to hear. Let me ask a slightly different question. So we know that the economy is dominated by small businesses, but is there sort of space and market potential for larger investor in Latvia? I don't know, Laura or Ian.
Yes, definitely. There is potential for larger businesses. We already see the investment success stories, the global companies that are coming to Latvia and developing their businesses here, and they seize the potential that we have the knowledge and have the actual space and infrastructure, and you do not have to build everything from the scratch. And another thing is regarding the industries, we have a very good potential now to build, for example, 5G silicon chip manufacturing here in Latvia. So this is another option regarding smart materials and electronics for the investors, because we do have the right seeds, and we need an investment to help build such industries.
Thank you.
But perhaps I would add, Latvia is not an island, as you can see. Latvia is actually closely, the Latvian economy is closely interrelated with its neighbors, Lithuania and Estonia, and also with the Nordic countries as well, across the Baltic Sea. So when we talk about the Baltics is actually a big area with a very significant sized economy. And the market is not just for Latvian companies or companies based in Latvia, is not just Latvia, it's the immediate region and of course the European Union, and as we've heard, potentially the whole world. Thank you.
Thank you, Ian and Laura. Is there any question from the audience? Because
we can't see.
Yes, please. If you wait 1 second, you will be given a microphone.
So you were mentioning earlier smart energy and the offshore wind energy project in cooperation with Estonia. I was wondering if that is also going to be extended to the other countries in the region, cooperation on wind energy. Thank you.
For now, the project is Estonian, Latvian offshore wind. Of course, it takes the infrastructure, the grid, how the grid and by whom is built to connect to other countries. There is planned also connection from Latvia to Nordic countries, another connection, and which will be all connected, because actually this project is a hybrid project, and it's not only about the offshore wind, but also the hydroelectric power. So this is really an ambitious project, and we are not looking it as just building this and it all ends there. So as I mentioned, the 15 gigawatt potential is very big, and we will look how to use it in the best ways.
Ian?
Yeah, the windiest area of the Baltic Sea is the part actually where the border between Latvia, the sea border between Latvia and Estonia lies. So a joint project with some of the wind resource being developed in Estonia and some in Latvia makes absolutely perfect sense. If you're going to build the grid connection, which is the most expensive bit of developing offshore wind, then a single grid connection can connect wind turbines that are both in Estonian waters and Latvian waters. So it's really encouraging to see this joint cooperation between Estonia and Latvia.
And even more important at the present time, given the concerns on energy security. Let me switch maybe to digital. There is quite a thought-provoking question from the system. So it says, Lithuania was set up as a fintech and startup hub. How does Latvia want to compete on that or position themselves?
We are not competing, and we do not aim to compete. And as I already mentioned, we are already an undeniable leaders in biomedicine or smart materials, photonics, electronics, you name it. So there are many sectors we are leaders. And with our mission approach, we want to put forward our incentives. Whether it's our mission C incentive, and within which is also the offshore wind projects, or this is semiconductor manufacturing here in Latvia. We do have a potential in many fields. So I would name the smart materials, bioeconomy, and photonics the forerunners of Latvian industry.
I'm an economist, so I cannot avoid to mention the comparative advantage of the country. So you've done it very well. Thank you, Laura. And turning maybe to so we had talked a lot about Latvia as a destination, but also the purpose of this session is to showcase also successes of companies that export globally. Maybe one question that comes from, again, the audience is, as an entrepreneur, what do you need in order to sort of expand abroad? Are there any sort of obstacles? Are there any recommendations that you would give to companies that want to internationalize and go global based on your experience? Maybe Ingers or Katja.
I can answer about this question. So Latvia is a really good spot to operate globally because it's in Europe, and of course if you work with the European market and with the US or Canada, so it's really easy to do this. We have some obstacles just because we kind of we produce drones, so that's why sometimes working with different countries, we need to do the certification or export license, but I don't see any obstacles to do that fast. And also when we're working with some government agencies, so they react fast as well. So yeah, from Latvia, there is no reason not to work out.
Ingers or Vitalis, do you want to comment on this?
From my side, from a bit different perspective, that what is important, especially for us as a startups, it's usually you choose industry and some struggle or problem in the market you try to solve. And for startups, in most of the cases, actually, you don't know if it will work and if it will service the need. And this is one thing how you have imagined, and the other thing is how customer needs. So one of the main, not struggle, but aim for us to actually find what is your product and which is the product which fits the market. And very often, your first initial idea is significantly different in the end of the road or on the way. So this is the thing, number one, you really have to be open to the market and reading the market, understanding what market really needs, not stubborn on your kind of idea and what you want to build. And when you know the product and you are getting shaping it better and better, then actually market is getting more and more open. And this is one thing where it's very handy to be in a small ecosystem as Latvia is, because in a startups world, and I believe actually in any business development world, networking and helping and sharing information each to other is very important. And the smaller, the closer the ecosystem is, the local ecosystem, faster you can exchange with this information and understand where you can shape your product to build globally and then to drive globally. Because we have very many strong and clever minds in our country, and we can help each other to build something really big and reasonable in a global scale.
Thank you. Vitalis.
I will say about obstacles. Actually, Latvia, I believe we are not different from whole Europe. We do not have enough young people who study mathematics, physics, chemistry, biologics. We certainly would like to have more. For any industry, ICT, smart materials, pharmaceuticals, mechanics, and but life is life, and we attract young people, give them possibilities to do the practice and make their career, and more, even in Latvia, coming people from work on growing enterprises, if even 5 years ago we more focused on Ukrainian, Belarusian specialists. Now we have Romanian, German, even some from Switzerland. Therefore, life is changing, and we are ambitious and growing together to the European and global tendencies.
Thank you. I mean, it's a very, very good comment, and it's also part of our focus on investment when we try to also develop this partnership between the private businesses that EBRD works with and local universities in order to be able to have a better match between the demand and the supply of skills. And I'm sure that the more this ecosystem develops in the country, the more you will become really a very attractive sort of location, not only for investment, but also for innovation, as you have demonstrated already. So I think we are reaching to the close of the session. I don't know whether there is any, apologies for doing this, but this is the only way I can see in the audience, if there is any additional question. Otherwise, I think I would like to thank our panelists and thank the audience for attending, not only here in Marrakesh, but also whoever is connected on streaming. And I would like a big round of applause for our panelists.
That's it.
That's it. Done.